He has a snack company.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say which one because the story gets a bit dark. Don't promote someone who doesn't want to be a manager because then they're gonna fuck up and you're gonna look at them like they were terrible managers. But it's not what they wanted. It's not what they want or who they are. One of the coffees,
it goes
whoop, all over the table.
Oh no.
Mess all over, and they jump up and like, oh no, it's okay, it's okay. I don't have new dreams. I have many dreams actually. Many dreams that I've never realized. That I never really went all the way forward with it.
Okay.
Obviously, like I told you. So the thing is, there was a point where I also realized that I work harder for organizations than I work for myself.
I get that.
It's like I would rather put myself on the side, and I would treat the business as if it was mine. Sounds too good to be true, which it was. So
yeah, guys out there, if it sounds too good to be true, you better watch
But
out.
then it's like Forbes 30 under 30. It's like
those are the ones who scam you.
I'm like, last minute we changed the deal from 3 months to 6 months, and we had a FIFA match for an extra %.
That's so much.
That's 7.
You clobbered him. Yeah.
But he clobbered me at the end of the whole deal. So it was.
Very special announcement. The Dead Store is finally open. So we're open from Tuesday till Sunday from 10 a.m. and we're located in Rosebank on 138 Jan Smuts. So pull up to the store and get your dead pieces.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
Welcome to another very special episode of Dead Radio with your boy Inni, and today in the building we have another special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself and then we're going to get into his life story, and you know how we do, get those jewels for you guys to use in your everyday life. So yeah.
Alright, what's up everyone? So I'm Marlon. I'm the operations manager for a apart hotel group. We currently operate in 3 buildings, Rosebank, Morningside and Bryanston. Basically been in hospitality since 2010. I was in grade 9, I believe. Yeah. Not underage working.
Yeah, you gotta clarify.
Yeah. It was a holiday job.
Dope.
Holiday job.
Dope.
Finished school, jumped back into hospitality. Been here since.
Okay, dope. Thanks so much for joining us, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. Let's start your story from the beginning. Where were you born?
9 months before?
No, 9 months after. Where were you born?
Okay, so born, well, it's growing up, my last memory, I'll tell you my memory of growing up because obviously it's been around for a bit. Okay. My majority of my father's family are from Yaldos, mother's family, Riverlea. Okay. So my earliest memory of life in general was from Riverlea. That's where I spent most of my time. That's where I grew up. Okay. Stayed in Riverlea, did my primary schooling there until grade 3 around. Grade 4 moved to Bosmont Primary, then Florida High School. Finished like most of my teenage years in Florida. Moved out of Florida once I got married. And that's where I am today. But how I got here, specifically career-wise, you know, when you were just floating in high school.
Because hospitality, if you've been working in hospitality since you were in grade 9, right? Mm-hmm. Let's actually rewind it, right? What type of kid was Marlon?
So that's the thing. So growing up in Riverlea, it was very, I would say, I was extroverted as a kid.
Okay.
You know, the dancer in the street.
Okay.
Listening to Kwaito
Dope.
music, house
Dope.
music at the time.
Dope.
That was my upbringing. Was very family orientated. Lived with
Okay.
my granny and all my cousins in one house. It was like that kind of a thing.
Okay. Okay.
Obviously, grew up, went into high school, and then, you know, you always dream of you want the house, the cars, whatever.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
like, I don't know if everyone else had the same thing. Like, you know, when you ask someone else, like, they'll come and ask Quadi, what do you want to be? And Quadi will be like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I was like, I know I want the money. I don't know. What
I don't know
do.
which.
I don't know
which direction.
Which direction.
I get you.
Entrepreneurship at the time wasn't something.
Yeah, it wasn't huge.
It wasn't like you didn't think it was possible. Like
Yeah.
I can own my own business
And
or whatever.
start and make money off of it.
So
True.
obviously going through school and you have career days and whatever, I was like scraped through, like just pass. Just get to the next grade. Just get to the next grade.
Yeah.
Quite charismatic. I could easily change and be a comedian to fit in with different people. Like I could do that quite easily. But never really had a career that I was like,
This is what I'm gonna do.
Never had that. So I was like, let's just see what I can do. So I was like, what career path doesn't need math, first of all?
Okay.
Don't-
Math was a big no.
Cut that out. Don't want that.
I get that.
So had a career day. I remember a lady by the name of Felicity at the time. She was there on behalf of Swiss Hotel School. Went around all the people with their pamphlets, went to her. She was speaking about hospitality and all the stuff that you could do. And I was like, do you need to have math for it? She was like, no. I'm like, this is what I do.
This is it. So by chance, she came to your school and opened your eyes in terms of that.
I wouldn't say by chance, but we'll get into my beliefs on chance and everything a bit later when we get to how I got here today. But yeah, got that, took the pamphlet, and you know they do those, I can't remember what those tests were, where they like say based on your
I think it's an
aptitude test, I mean, they do that test and tell you like you should do whatever. Like I think I was meant to do computers, but then I could do math, but I was gonna possibly make it, possibly not make it.
I
was
get
just
you.
like, no, too much
I'm not
stress.
taking that,
No, that's a stress.
Okay.
So I was like, not doing that. Then I went home and then told my parents, like, I think I want to do hospitality. And they asked why. I was going to be like, yeah, because I don't want to fucking...
Yeah, obviously you can't tell them that.
I'm like, because I love, like, top billing and I like fancy houses and all these things and whatever. So my father at the time, because he does, he used to have a company where he would come out to your house and he'd do your passport and your ID and whatever.
Oh, dope.
So he did the passport of Doe State, which
yes.
and Stay in City, Saxon Hotel, all those kind of things. So he was like, I know a guy, I can speak to him and see if I can get you like into the hospitality thing, which is George Cohen. That's when hospitality actually started. That's the actual start. This was now grade 9. This was after the whole career day.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
Went, I remember it was a holiday. So literally my childhood, especially in high school, I was that kid. Every holiday, I was never out with friends. I was never. I was working.
Okay.
I was the guy at 16 years old in a suit.
Damn. How did that feel, though?
It felt.
Cause didn't you miss your teenage, like that space when you're a teenager, when most teenagers are hanging out with their friends, like getting into trouble out there? You were working. So how did that feel?
At the time, it was like I didn't feel indifferent to it. I was like, I enjoyed what I was doing. Like, there was the time where I could wake up without an alarm, and I was like, it's work.
You're super excited.
I was excited. I was meeting people, being at the Saxon. It was like, woo! I'm shaking hands with celebrities, presidents. Like it was like a dream. It's like, oh my god, this.
So
guy
the first place you actually went to work was the Saxon. And what were you doing?
Butler.
Oh, dope.
So I was the butler there. But before I was the butler, it was in the villas just opened, 2010 World Cup.
World Cup time,
So first I was on the terrace. I remember this day so clearly. It was the most embarrassing day in my young career. So I was trying out the first holidays, and I had to go. They were having a meeting in the upstairs office. Manager's name was Yaku at the time. I think he was F&B manager. And they ordered like juices and coffees and things from the terrace, and I had to walk up the stairs and go and give it to them now on the table. I have no experience being a waiter. Like, this is like literally week
First
1,
time.
week 2. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going up now to go and deliver this. I'm nervous.
No, with
It's
the
like,
tray.
With the tray. I don't know that I have to keep like a gap between your fingers and your palms. So now it's like, it's bouncing and it's spilling, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Now I get there, and my tray is packed awfully. Like, it's off balance. So as soon as I lift one of the coffees,
it goes
whoop, all over the table.
Oh no.
Mess all over, and they jump up and like, oh no, it's okay. I felt like shit. I was like, oh my god.
Shit.
I was like, the guy, like, so this was now my opportunity to go to hospitality school, and I just messed on sea level.
Yeah, like,
and I was like, oh my god, apologize.
But how did the guests react? Like, did you get in trouble?
I didn't.
Like,
They were like, oh no, it's cool, don't stress, it
Okay.
happens, whatever. But like, obviously, I felt like shit. I was like, oh my god, I fucked that up. I fucked that up terribly. Obviously, we learn. At the end of the first holidays I worked, George Cohen called me to the office. He was like, I love how you work. If you want to do hospitality, your father told me you want something you're looking into, I'll pay for your studies. I was like, cool. Like, I don't come from a rich family where I can actually, I thought tertiary was actually something that I could do. I was like, okay, cool. Here's an opportunity then.
I'm gonna take it.
And I took it, and this is now, I think, 16 years later.
Damn.
Hospitality.
So, okay. So now you've started working, well, you had that internship job, right? You obviously start falling in love with the industry because now you start learning like the different parts and how they all come together. And then George Cohen, who is the managing director of the Saxon? Yes. So he offers you a scholarship, right? How do you feel at that time? Are you like, okay, yes, finally he's going to be able to pay for, or someone can pay for my tertiary, and this is the career I'm picking?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
remember, growing up, especially growing up where I came from, it was like there was a set route that you go in. Like either you going to go to call center or banking.
I hear that.
It's like you see the same pattern.
Shout out to all the call centers out there because they employ so many people, millions of people.
Millions of people.
Yeah, millions of people.
So I was like, if I want to do something different, this is what it's going to be. Otherwise, I'm just going to be another guy from Riverly that's driving
I get
Golf,
you.
and I'm going to be like,
I get
there's nothing
that.
wrong with it.
Yeah,
It's just
but
like, let's do something different. Like, let's like try to do something that's not been done before. Like, let's expand. So I was like, okay, cool. If I want to do something different, this is it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end of matric. I'm gonna go find a job, and that's it.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. This is what the opportunity is. It's the only one I have.
I'm gonna take.
And you're live on Dead Radio. And you're live on Dead Radio.
Took it, 3-year diploma. Went to the States for 6 months.
What specifically did you go and study at?
Hospitality management diploma.
Okay.
So
okay.
So we did that. It was. They've changed the curriculum quite a bit.
Okay.
But I liked how the school was structured as well. So it was first year, second year, third year. First year is basically you're new to the industry, right? Second year is when you're more management. So your second year students would manage the first year students. And then the third year is where you kind of break away, and then you need to plan a restaurant for the school. So it's like now you starting kind of a restaurant.
Yeah, practical.
Practical. So then now you need to think of concepts for the restaurant, the food, your cuisine, the names. We have to do interviews for back of house positions like HR,
Just explain to people what front of house means and what back of house.
Okay, so yeah, front of house, basically the people working with the people. So your waiter worked serving the table, the housekeepers cleaning the public area, the receptionist at the front. That's front of house. Back of house is the people you don't see, your marketing team, your reservations team, your operations, chefs, back of house, operation managers and like the managers in offices. I would say they back of house, but they are on the floors as well.
They're also on the floors.
But they are considered back of house. So the more back of house kind of stuff happened in your third year. Second year is more your management, your management training. First year is where you actually had to clean the school during the break. You had to cook, you had to serve. So you would serve the second years, you would cook for the second years. It's like, so it was structured in the growth kind of thing.
Yeah,
so I like that about it. And then the other thing I liked about it as well, it wasn't like how other hospitality curriculums do it, where you do your full tertiary, and then at the end you do 6 months practical, and then you go straight into the industry.
I get you.
So it's like you do year one.
It builds you up.
So it's like you do year one, you do year two, and at the last end of year two, that's when you go on your break. Like you go away for your 6 month practical internship.
Okay.
Then you come back
to school.
Then you start your third year. So it's like you have coaching still after you return from your 6 months.
I get that.
Then you start your restaurant project basically. So there's still that guidance before you go into the
real world.
Yeah, the real world. So it's not to your assignment and then off, there you go.
Okay, so you're in school. Are you thinking, obviously, that deal that you had struck with Mr. Cohen, was that you would return and go and work there?
Yeah, 100%. And then that's where we ran into.
Yeah, that's actually, by the way, guys, I actually worked in hospitality for like 4 years or something. It was a crazy time. I had to leave. I was like, no way. I was losing my mind there. But okay, so you finish. What happens at the end of you completing your studies?
So complete studies, this was November. I can't remember the year properly. The years are a bit hazy. Yeah. But November, I remember I finished literally the December. I'm at Saxon. I'm working. Okay.
What's your first official job there?
First official job is butler. So first it was junior butler, when I was doing the holiday.
Yes.
Now it's just
butler.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
just explain to people also what butler does, because that is a 5-star establishment. A lot of hotels don't have butlers, and the only reference people have of butlers is like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that. But
it's Fresh Prince is kind of an accurate depiction of what a butler is. Yeah. So basically, if I'm Khwadi's butler, I know Khwadi is left-handed, so I know when he drinks water to put water on the left. When Khwadi comes in and when Khwadi sleeps, he sleeps on the right side of the bed, so I'm going to put his slippers on the right side of the bed. So a butler is more of it's a more like a PA. Yeah, it's like a PA, but
for the guest. Yes, in service for the guest.
That's what it is. So as a butler, you take service, but then you tailor it to what that person is. Being in the villas where we worked, like it gets quite intense when you have multiple high-level ranking guests staying with you, all with different preferences. This one wants this champagne, but we have to cool the glass first. This one doesn't want the regular menu. He has a special meal that the chef will
tailored service.
Tailored service, and you need to know exactly
what they want,
who this is, and what this person wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink normal milk. He wants evaporated milk. You know who I'm talking.
Yep. That's an inside joke.
So so that's what butlering is. Butlering is tailored service to a specific person, like lifestyle wise.
Yeah. So you start working there. How's the environment? Are there people within the organization that maybe you're asking for advice about? Like, how is that experience as just coming out of tertiary and going straight into employment?
The nice thing about it is because I worked there prior, so it wasn't like I was walking into the industry and like it's my first. I knew the sector, I knew where whatever was, I knew the story, I knew walking down the corridors, I could point out the pictures and tell you the story of every picture. So it was easier for me than I think it would have been for most people going in there for the first time. So
Yeah.
working there, I think Saxon to date is still probably my best employment I've ever had. The only reason I left the Saxon was just for growth. Otherwise, I would have still been there. I just wanted to expand and experience other things. But
I get that.
as
That's
far as
The
a
experience.
culture, I think that was probably the best work experience I've ever had. It
get
was
that.
very, there was a lot of mentorships. You could ask questions, you could find out new things. You were allowed to go to different departments, and you could, like, I was in the villas. We were in the villas all the
True,
way on the one
true.
end, but you had friends
Main
in
hotel,
marketing, you
yeah.
had friends in guest relations. Like it was.
That's true.
It was quite a nice collaborative.
And the culture was pretty dope.
It was quite dope.
Yeah.
Also, obviously, you had the opportunity to meet people that you would never ever meet
in your life.
in your life. Being in the elevator with,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what happens from the place when you move from butler to like management? How does that work in your
Dynamic.
mind? Yeah, just mentally, how do you deal with that? Because in a lot of corporate structures, right? When people are peers, everything is all good. But then when your peer moves to a higher position, they can possibly be friction. How did you deal with moving on to a new level?
So how I dealt with is, and obviously you were there because obviously we worked together.
Yeah.
It isn't like what I need to understand or what your manager needs to understand that has now moved up. It's not me versus you. We're still a team.
Yes.
The better you feel about being at work,
The
we
better.
perform.
True.
So I'm not
true.
going to now, I'm above you, do this. I'm no longer doing this. It's
True.
how do we work together now? How do I understand what you need, and how do I show you what we need so that we can all work together to get this done?
I get that.
That's how you just manage that difference. It's like, yeah, cool, we not on the same level anymore,
Yeah, but
I've
same
seen where
team.
you are, so I understand what the struggles are. Now I'm in a position where I can maybe make us work together better, kind of a thing.
Because the reason I'm asking you that, right, is that I read a book quite a long time ago, right? And it talked about how managers are a reason that most businesses fail, right? And it's because of that thing that they move from this position to a higher position, and that comes with more power. And
Yes,
we
sir.
all know that power corrupts.
Yeah, but that's also, there's like management, then there's leadership.
Yes.
So
That is 1000% true.
So I could be your manager, but you could still be a leader to everyone around you. You could be a leader to your manager.
True,
even.
true,
So
true.
if you try to be a good leader, I think management just falls into it
Yeah.
as well. If you know how
Yeah.
to lead people and communicate and how to get some people behind you, like I think probably once in my career do I recall shouting at someone. Usually I gain respect by being open,
Yes, true.
promoting people.
True.
And
True.
if I ask someone to do something and they don't do it, when I speak to them about it, they feel more disappointed for letting me down.
Yes.
Being
I get
scared
that.
to get it wrong because
I
I'm
get
gonna shout at them, if that makes sense.
I get that.
So that's just focusing on how you lead people affects your management style as well. That's what I believe.
I get that.
So I've never been the manager to be like, no,
the
Kwadi,
aggressive.
I don't want you to
manager.
do this because you're gonna like if I think I've spoken to you even about it, like if you wanna leave the I don't know,
Organization
the organization or the
yeah.
department, like I'm with you. It's fine, go. If there's something better
That's
for
true.
you, go and do it. I'm not gonna hold you back because then you're just gonna have resentment. You're not gonna wanna be there. You're not gonna perform.
And
at
I'm
your
gonna
best.
mess up the.
You're gonna mess up everything. So I would rather support people to be better. If you wanna leave, you wanna leave. Like I'd rather be on your side than us clashing and being against each other.
I get
So
that.
I think that the leadership element falls into how management is.
I get
followed.
that.
Yeah.
That's dope. So eventually you get to a point in your career where you're like, I've been at this organization for X amount of years. What's going on in your life at that time? And what's the final thing that pushes you to leave?
So obviously, okay, so let's go back to how it was, right? So butler, senior butler, villa, assistant villa manager, right? that was all. I don't think I've had any of those positions for longer than a year. It was like 8 months.
And then
9 months,
promoted.
7 months. So
I
it was
get
like,
that.
because also
So you
I've
were a
been
hard
there.
worker.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So the thing is, there was a point where I also realized that I work harder for organizations than I work for myself.
I get that.
It's like I would
get
rather
that.
put myself on the side, and I would treat
get
the
that.
business as if it was mine, and I would
Yours.
graft and I would put in the work. But I don't regret that neither.
Yeah, because that also helped you progress.
Yeah. So, like, okay, corporations are made for different sort of people. So, some people are fine with, I want to come to work, I want to do what I want to do, and then I
go
want to go
home.
home, don't call me. It's the next person's shift. They did.
Let them deal
Let
with
them
that.
deal with it. That's fine also. You don't force those people to do more. They don't want to do more. Pay them for what they're getting paid for. Let them do what they want to do. Everyone's happy. Done. There are some people that want to
Go beyond.
go beyond because they have ambitions to be a manager, to be an owner, to be a whatever. Those people, cool. Let them do what they want to do. But don't force your whole organization to be like that person.
I get that.
Like, people have different ambitions. Don't promote someone who doesn't want to be a manager, because then they're going to fuck up and you're going to look at them like they were terrible managers. But it's not what they wanted. It's not what they want or who they are.
True.
For instance, someone can be an incredible housekeeper, and you make her a housekeeping manager, but you neglect that she can't manage people. Now she's a terrible supervisor. Now you're going to fire her because she's a terrible supervisor, but she's your best housekeeper.
So being in management also requires you to understand the psychology of the people that work with
and
you.
what they want. Not everyone wants progression. Not everyone wants the next move up. Some people just want a higher paycheck every quarter, or whatever your annual raise is. Some people are fine with that, and that's okay. Let the people
That's a fair
want
point.
what they want.
That's a fair point.
Don't force it on them. Like, I'm not gonna, okay, Kwadi's a butler, I'm gonna make Kwadi a manager. Maybe Kwadi didn't want to be a manager. Now Kwadi's gonna not be a good manager.
I get
Ini,
that.
his name's also
I get
Kwadi.
that. For anyone who's confused out there.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now you're a terrible manager. Now I have to do disciplinary inquiries with you because you're not performing. But I put you in a position that you
To
didn't
fail,
want, and you,
basically. You
Like,
put me in
I
position.
should have had that discussion with you. Should have had a KPI with you. I should have been like, where do you want to be? What do you want? If you want to be a manager, do you have the skills? How do I nurse you? How do I help you do that? Maybe I make you run a shift a few times.
I
Those kind of
get
things.
that.
Not just, okay, Kwadi, there you go. You're a
Up
manager.
next. Yeah.
I think that's the kind of thing that you need to be careful for.
I get that. And then, yes, we were talking about that point where you finally wanted to leave and what was going on in your life.
Went through all those quick ascensions in the villas, went over to the main hotel, duty manager. Main hotel, dealing again now with the restaurant and guests coming in and parties. And
was that more responsibility?
it was, because now duty manager, it was kind of you duty manager of the main hotel, but also if anything happens in the villas, you're also managing the villas. So now you're doing the spa, you're doing the restaurant, all three of them. So it was
okay.
at the time, I think it was LDRS, Luke Dale Roberts.
Yes.
That restaurant basically ran by itself. So as a duty manager, you weren't really worried about that one, but it was like the spa, it was events. So all your banqueting,
you have to deal with
you have to deal with those.
Yeah.
You have to deal with the drunk people on the terrace. You have to deal with the kunu
Hospitality is crazy, guys.
It gets a bit wild. It gets a bit wild. So
Yeah.
I was there. Then again, I went back to the villas again.
the villas, yes.
And then it was like, okay, cool. I've basically covered every building and every point
in this
every
organization.
aspect. Like, I need something else. Like, I need to expand and explore something different because I'm in hospitality, but I only know the Saxon.
I get that.
If that makes sense.
I get that. Did you have a conversation with the person who basically brought you in?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were disappointing them in any way?
No, not at all. I did feel like, because the contract said to work for a year, I was there for like almost 5 years. It was 4 years and a few months.
Okay.
So I was like, I did pay back a
Yeah,
lot more.
way
than I was
more.
supposed, but I
Way
enjoyed
more.
it. I loved being there. So I was just like, okay, cool. Look, I think everything that there was to see, I've seen. So I think I need to experience something different.
else. Okay.
That's when I went to Saint's Restaurant, Santon,
Dope.
floor manager.
Dope. Before you left your job at the Saxon, did you have a guarantee with the next one, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like resign
Yes.
and go look.
Yes.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Terrifying. But a lot of people just are in a position where they're so sick of the environment that they've been in that they're just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm leaving. But yours was more calculated.
It wasn't a toxic work environment. It was just, I need something different. So it wasn't like every day I was there, I was dying. I was like,
I feel that.
Can't wait to leave, kind of a thing. It was more of a like,
Let me try
something
something
else.
new.
But it's not, I gotta do it now. If I don't do it now, oh my God. So
You transition
to Saints. Yeah, that place is wild. It is so. It's like it's entertaining. How it's like a very different concept to a restaurant. It's I've never seen it being done before. It's like you have a restaurant over here that's quiet and it's like normal service as a normal restaurant would. Then you walk past reception and it's a club on the other side. And it's like wild. It's like it's a good wild though. It's it's new and it's innovative.
So it's two
like
energies
fresh,
existing in
like
one space.
If you're at the club and you want to use the bar, not the club. It's a bar. It's a bar, but
it's a club.
But it's a club.
Yeah.
So like if you're there and you want to go to the bathroom and you walk past reception, all of a sudden it's like dun dun dun.
I get that.
Crazy. You use the
That's
bathroom.
crazy.
You
And
walk
then
out,
back.
go back. It's crazy. So it was a very new, fresh concept for me. It was more F&B based, but the hours.
F&B being food
and
and beverages.
So being a restaurant, so it's more food and beverage, more those kind of things that you had to deal with. So it was more your
stock
prep,
taking and
cleaning the floors and tables and those kind of things. But what happened all at the same time was I left the Saxon, started at Saints, got married, moved into a house same month.
So everything was happening at the same time.
Month. Literally.
How are you juggling?
That's what ended up being the reason why I actually left Saints. Because what was happening was I would come home. So basically, I had to be at the restaurant at 7, right, in the morning. So you'd open the restaurant at 7 in the morning, you'd get everything ready, lunch starts at 12, ends at 4, you get like between 4 and 5 as a break, then you get ready again for dinner service, birthdays, table numbers, blah, 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 blah. 6 o'clock dinner starts, kitchen closes at 10, people sit until 12, wait for them to leave, do catch up, leave at like 1, 2 in the morning, literally get home, wake my wife up to go to work, I sleep, wake up. I was just like,
do it again. It was too much.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
So then my previous manager from the Saxon was in hotel IT doing PMS systems for Muse. Then he was like, oh, they're looking for someone at this place, the guy just resigned. There was another hookup. That's how I got into CAG where I am now. So that comes back to how I told you I was going to come back to how it's not a coincidence how things happen.
Yes.
It's more, I don't believe there's coincidence and I don't believe there's luck neither. So Felicity wasn't there because of luck.
Interesting.
It's because of choices.
Nah, that's for me. Don't worry about that. Gang signs.
So it's not about luck and coincidence. It's the choices I make put me in certain positions, and things happen because of the choices I make and the choices that other people make, and somehow it
comes together,
and that's how it gets there.
So you don't believe in luck at all?
Think about yourself. How did you get here?
I worked my ass off. I'll tell you that. But okay, this is a discussion I'd actually love for us to tap into, right? I do believe work will open the door for you, right? But everyone who's made it anywhere, something has to happen that is completely out of your control, which I put to luck, right? Because if that lady hadn't come to your school, and I'm not saying that's luck, but somewhere in your journey, I'm very sure if we were to deconstruct and reverse engineer everything that's happened in your life. There's definitely things that have happened that were completely out of your control that added to you getting through the door.
I understand.
That's what I call.
I understand
luck.
that piece of it, but then what I look at it is, I could have chosen not to go to
That's
that
true.
career day.
That's true.
That
Yeah,
was going to happen regardless of my
that's
choice.
true. That's also very
I had to
true.
put myself there.
That's also very, very
I
true.
could have gone there. I could have not spoken to her. I could have gone there,
That's
spoken
true.
to her, and not done anything.
And
about
just
it.
been like, fuck it.
So I feel like it's what I did. I had to make the choice to go. I had to make the choice to look. I had to make the choice to say something about it. I had to make the choice to go to the Saxon.
True.
You worked at the Saxon.
True. True.
How many times were you behind the bar speaking to guests?
Yeah. Damn near every time
What
I
are
watch
you
it.
doing now? You speaking to guests.
Oh, that's crazy. I actually never put that together. Thank
Think
you
about
for
it.
that. Yeah, thank you for that.
If you didn't go in hospitality, which you felt was crazy and you had to leave, but it gave you a skill to do what you're doing now, how did you get into this seat now? Have you had any interview experience before this?
So yes, through the media. So when I was working at the Saxon,
Yeah.
right? Let me actually tell you.
Yeah.
So I was using the Saxon as to fund me just existing and living.
Yeah.
Right. While I was building my online media publication.
I remember that, yeah.
Yes. So then that spiraled into us starting a magazine where I actually started interviewing people. But what hospitality actually taught me was human psychology, right? That's the greatest thing that I learned from hospitality. I actually started learning, certain people behave like this when this is around. Certain people behave like this when this isn't around. So it just started helping me understand human psychology, which then I added with the media business, which then eventually brought me here. Yeah. But yes, you are right. You do have to be the one who puts in the work. But there's always like a hand or a thing that just pokes things in the right direction.
So let's look at this. I had no hand in being here at all. You know how this
Yes.
happened. Let's look at this example, right?
Yes.
I'm on my way to Cape Town.
Yes.
I see someone in dead drip, head to toe.
Yes.
I think, Hwadi.
That's true.
I call you, Hwadi.
That's
I
true.
could have not called you. I could have just been like,
That's
cool, guy in a dead drip.
That is
cool.
very
Go
true.
through security.
And keep it moving.
Get on my flight. I wouldn't have
Keep
been
it
here.
moving. That is very, very
I called you. I was like,
That
this
is
guy,
very
whatever. Had to go through the scanning thing. I'm like, cool, I'll call you back. Went on the other side. I called you back.
couldn't find that guy,
Couldn't
and
find
then
that
we
guy.
just
started-
continued.
I think we spoke for like an hour.
Yeah, literally.
Well, we spoke.
Literally.
I think you were like, we'd love to do interview, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. If I didn't do 1, 2, 3, 4, this was out of my hands. That was in your hands. But I had to put myself in that position to speak to you.
Yes.
to
For
make it
everything to.
So certain things you control. But
Y-
if you
yes.
don't put it there, it's not
It'll
gonna
never
for you.
happen. It'll never
So
happen.
that's why I don't
That's
really
true.
believe in
luck,
luck and coincidence. You had to
coincidence.
do something yourself on your end to put you in the position for that thing to happen.
I get that. I definitely get that. So, okay. So now you've left Saints. It's that chaotic month that was happening. So you leave, you talk to your contact who plugs you into the next place.
Corporate
What is the
apartment
next?
group.
Aha.
Corporate apartment group, also still hospitality but different. So
Different.
it was what I was looking at because obviously I had Saxon, hotel, cleanly shaved,
Yes.
very
Yes.
suit,
Prim,
tie,
proper.
like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
razor bumps were crazy.
They were going crazy.
I was like, oh wow, I can breathe. They allow beards. I was like, fine, let's do this.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Started as a GM in the Rosebank building. I think we had 53 apartments at the time in Rosebank. So very, very different concept to a hotel. So now I need to learn how
That
hotels
works.
work. Because
Yeah.
in a hotel, you own the building.
Yes.
Like
yes.
whoever's on the premises as a guest is your guest.
Yes.
Apart hotel, very different. You have a resident next door. You have a competitor on the other side of you. Like it's, you don't own the building. You can't just chop and change and do whatever
And
you want.
flip
It's
things
very,
around.
It's very
Okay.
all over the place. So it's like, let's say the building has 100 units in the whole building. our company runs 50 of the 100. Then you have someone that has 15 and they also do an Airbnb.
Okay.
Then you have people who live there as the actual homes in the building. Then there's a body corporate, so if things don't work, you need to be like body corporate, the elevator, the...
So you guys handle the...
So basically, let's say you an owner of a unit, right?
Yes.
In the Vantage. I rent an apartment from you for whatever the market rental is. Let's say it's a 1 bed and it's going for 12K a month.
Yeah.
Every month you get 12K. We renting it from you. Then we put it on Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, blah blah blah. Then we put people in there. We put DSTV, Wi-Fi, cleaning, all of that stuff, and obviously there's a nightly charge on it.
Yes.
So let's say we charge 1,000 rand a night. If you fill it every night, it's going to be 30K.
Then
so
yes.
Of the 30K, we give you your 12. Pay DSTV, pay whatever's left. That's profit.
Yours.
But it sounds like it's amazing. If you do one apartment, you making basically probably 200, 500 rand. That's why you need scale. So you need to have like at least 12, 15
apartments. Okay.
So that you can compound these little increments of... There's different models to do it as well. So I had to learn all of this. This is completely now different to hotels. I had to now learn, okay, cool. So you can do this where I give you your 12 and then what we make. Or I could just not pay you rent and I just manage it for you and I just take a management fee and then whatever you make, you make.
Yes, that's your own business.
If there's no one coming into the unit, you don't get paid. If someone does come in.
Which method made more money for you guys?
So we stay with the method of just giving you your 12.
Okay.
Because trying to do management share models is a bit harder because then you need to show for your apartment, this is your income. So then you have to market it different and this person's gonna say, why is my occupancy 60 and this other owner is 80?
I get
and you have to like average out, try to put someone here to like it becomes a nightmare logistically. So there is that model and then there are other people who just do that model which works because then you list every individual unit
apartment.
on its own.
Okay.
So those are other avenues, but those are all things that I need to now learn. So it was just came from we own the building, we run this building
to like
restaurant,
completely.
And it's like we can't fix this because we don't own it. So if the owner owns the TV and the TV breaks, the owner needs to fix the TV. We're obviously gonna fix the TV. We need to invoice the owner. So in a hotel, you wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, because we all own everything.
We fix it. It's broken.
I feel that.
So that's something new we had to learn. So obviously, to the owner, it's a nice deal for the owner because obviously your unit is now being managed by someone who's using it for experience. So if there's a dinged wall, you can't put someone in there for 1,000 rand. So we're gonna try to maintain the unit as much as we can. Where if you just have someone in there. If they
How long did it take for you to get into the motion of like working in this new space?
I learned quite quick. I don't think it took too long. Like before long, I think I knew basically everything, and I started teaching people that's been there before me. Which is why I moved up as well. So GM, and then it was open up another property, which is the one down here, the View. Opened up the View.
The View is okay.
Yeah. So the View.
So it's the Vantage.
The Vantage, the View, and the Hub in Bryanston.
The Hub, I don't know.
So while I was at the Vantage as the GM there, that's when we moved into the View. It was literally just after COVID. Moved into the View. So while I was managing the Vantage, I opened up the View. So I was trying to run
both of them. How was that?
It was a little stressful.
Yeah, I'm sure it was super stressful.
Because also you need to remember it's a residential area. You have, I think we had 15 units at the time when we opened. So you have 15 fridges, 15 dryers, washing machines, and they're all coming on this big truck. And the truck can't come into the complex because it's too heavy, so you have to carry it from outside. It's like logistics.
Logistically it's a nightmare.
So while the deliveries are happening, they have these, those hydraulic doors.
So
the doors can't stay open, so now you have to, and we have smart locks. So you can't open for every person every time they go. So now you have to manage people to go to certain. It was
a nightmare. Then I get that.
Behind the scenes, you have to put it on Expedia, Booking.com, Airbnb. You have the whole PMS system mapped out. It was just
a nightmare.
It was fun though. It was new, but it was a lot.
It
was a lot.
You seem to like challenges. Is that a fair
It's
assessment?
only like I feel like if I don't learn something new, that's when I get bored. That's literally the reason I left Saxon. It was like
there's nothing
what
else
It's like
for me
yeah.
to.
So
Okay.
then learned all of that. Then it was like cool. They got a GM into the view. Then I was still helping. Like while I was at the branch, still helping the view, still helping the hub, and I was like, okay, cool. Like helping all these guys.
Can I?
Yeah, like
Yes.
where I actually manage them properly instead of trying to do it here and do it there. So then that's when like cool, let's do that. Move me in a position where I oversee all 3 apartments and then put someone else in my place. Then we manage the 3 apartments to kind of make them all similar standards. Obviously, there's different buildings and different looks, so it will never be exactly the same. But at least the service is the same.
Is the same.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So now you're in this new position, overlooking everything. What are some qualities that you didn't have before you started this job that this job helped you develop? Or did you have the qualities already, you just needed to sharpen them?
Qualities
because this is the highest position that you've been, like through your, and I'm assuming that you need to zone in on specific things because the job now oversees these 3 apartments. Yeah. So what are some of those things that you had to change?
The biggest thing that I had to work on was communication.
Communication.
Trying to get, because obviously, if you take it, being at the Saxon, it was like villa manager. You manage the staff.
Just
the staff.
Yeah.
Housekeeping is managed by someone completely. Like we didn't manage housekeeping. Housekeeping had their own kind of management. Then you move to Saints where you just manage
the
restaurant there, the staff, the bar, the waiters, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Then I move to the Vantage, and it's like this building, the staff in this building, I'm managing this staff.
I get that.
Now I'm above the building, so I have these 3 people that's
yes.
managing other people, but I have to also manage how they manage the people.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, cool. So now it's like, I can't speak to the staff directly, so I need to directly speak to you, but then I need to remember that I need to follow up with you if you've relayed the message. Because the one thing that I didn't do mostly in my career was micromanage and follow up.
Yes.
To a certain degree, you need to follow up. I just trusted, okay, cool.
That you'll do it, and
until I find out now that guy didn't do that. And then it's a different thing. So that's one thing I had to learn. I was like following up.
Okay.
Have you done this? Okay. How did you do it? How far are we with this? Otherwise, it just gets left.
You being such a people's person and a likable character, how did you learn how to fire people? Have you had to fire anyone?
Yeah.
Because that's also a quite a difficult thing for people who have your type of character.
So yeah, it is a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Firing someone is never easy, but like I'm a bit weird. I don't get too emotionally invested into things. So it's like you and me could be cool, but if you fuck up, I'm gonna have to fire you. Sorry.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
That's what it is.
I feel that.
What I like is the system is the same. Whether it's you, whether it's someone else.
I get you.
I don't wanna have Khwadi get away with something, and then someone else is like, oh, but he did it. Now why can't I do it? And it's the whole thing. So
you don't work through nepotism in any way.
It has to be the same. If it's in black and white, if you break the rules,
it is what it is.
You broke the rules.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we went for lunch together yesterday.
But you gotta go now.
It was yesterday. Today's today. So
I feel that.
But that's like I think I'm the same both ways.
Okay.
So both ways with the guest and with the staff. I don't like like even a guest being treated differently to what they're paying the same. They're paying the same money. So why do I treat you different to what I would treat you? If this is the rule for all guests, I don't like another guest having an exception.
I get that.
Because then what happens is, okay, we have a breakage deposit, and Khwadi doesn't want to pay because Khwadi's a regular. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna let Khwadi slide, and he's not gonna pay the damage deposit. And then Khwadi's friend comes. It's like, oh, but Khwadi didn't pay, so why should I pay?
I get you.
And then now
it'll always come back to you.
Yeah. Then it's like, okay, cool. And then if just because it's South Africa, if you are white and the friend is now black and because I'm black, and it's a whole thing now. It's like, oh my god, it wasn't even the reason. It's just,
I get
so
that.
I like rules are there for a reason on both sides.
I get
Guest,
that.
staff, and like it's easier if we all just follow what the rules is.
Damn, that's fire, and that's fair. You sound like you'd rather be fair than not.
They're not fair.
Yeah.
Because what happens then, you come back and it's my fault because I let this one get away, whatever. Now, the culture of the business is just completely different now because now there's no line anymore. It's like, it's subjective.
I get that. I get that.
Can we wear flip-flops? He wore flip-flops.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
That's something that we need to avoid.
Okay, so I want to switch gears quickly and talk about the evolution of dreams, right? Mm-hmm. So I always talk to every guest about the evolution of dreams, how a dream can start. I guess it wasn't your dream, but it was the path that opened up for you, which led to you working at the Saxon, and then you worked at Saints, and then you're here now. What's a new dream that Marlon has today that you didn't have 2 years ago?
I don't have new dreams. I have many dreams, actually.
Many
dreams that I've never realized. That
Okay.
I've never really went all the way forward with it.
Okay.
Obviously, like I told you, hospitality was never my choice.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
what was presented. Only later on through the years, it was like, I actually think I'm more of a creative person. And I'm in this corporate space. Behind the desk, laptop. And I was like,
I don't know about this.
How do I now bring creativity and hospitality together? But then COVID happened, and I had this little product that I got from Alibaba. So what it was it's this little bottle that you put sanitizer in it. It has a microfiber cloth around it, so you can spray your phone and then wipe your phone with
with the same bottle. Okay, dope.
Bought like 500 of those. I was like, cool, I'm gonna sell these.
I'm gonna flip these.
I'm gonna sell these. Cost me like 60 rand each to like put everything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sell them for 80. I'm like, cool, great.
30 rand
This is gonna
profit.
work.
Yo, we up right now.
Cool, I can sell them for 80, I can sell them for 100.
Yeah,
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Cool. Start website, everything. Start promoting on Facebook, all these
Crazy.
places. This is COVID now, right?
Okay.
Or it was just after COVID. It was literally just when we got out, so you could get shipments and whatever.
Okay.
So now it's out there. One guy DMs me on Facebook and is like, "Hi, how do I get this to Cape Town?" I'm like, fuck, I didn't think about that.
Damn it.
Damn. So I'm like, fuck, how do I get this to Cape Town?
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do I get this 80 rand thing to Cape Town with the cost, not
The cost.
And I was like, fuck. Thinking about it.
The cost.
Looked at it, I was like, the cost to ship this one thing to Cape Town is
already
$100.
Yeah, it's already
So
way
now
more.
it's 180 rand, but
Damn it.
majority is the fucking shipment. So I took out a loan for this, right? It was like 130k or something. But everything was about 30k, like stock wise, and then the rest was going to be marketing and whatever. One of the guys in the building, the Advantage, he's Forbes 30 under 30.
Dope.
Does distribution, like he has a snack company.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say which one because the story gets a bit dark.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, so I'm not going to mention what brand, whatever.
But it's distribution.
So obviously I see the guy having meetings, speaking to his people in the buildings. Like I went to the guy, I'm like, look, I have this thing, this is my product, how do I distribute it? You help me, blah blah blah. So he sends me like DHL, okay, cool, do this. I'm like, cool. So I'm looking at this guy like a mentor kind of a thing.
I get
like,
that.
Cool.
I get that.
Cool. That happens. Eventually I was like, I'm signing a new deal for this new product that we're gonna distribute. But I don't want to take money out of what I'm already doing and stop the distribution line there. I want new investors to run
put
it.
money into
and then
that. Yeah.
I think it's 3 months, and I will give you like a 10% investment back every month.
Okay.
And then at the end you get your capital. So
back.
basically, So it was 100k I had to put in. Then basically I'd get 11k every month for 3 months and then get my capital back.
Get that.
Sounds too good to be true, which it was. So
Yeah, guys out there, if it sounds too good to be true,
So, yeah.
you better watch
But
out.
then it's like Forbes 30 under 30. It's like
Those are the ones who
That's-
scam you.
I'm like,
bro.
God damn, like yes, deals with like big companies. You like, it must be legit.
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on, it must be legit. So did that. Month 1, it's like 2 days after you should have paid, guys. Not
Nothing.
paid. I'm like, cool. It's the first month. It's okay. He walks past the office. I'm like, my guy. He's like, oh shit, I just forgot. Let's do a geo payment. Does a geo payment. I'm like, cool, sweet.
Cool.
Second month, forgets again. I'm like, this is the second month. Like,
Yeah, now there's something
yeah.
fishy.
Also, last minute, we changed the deal from 3 months to 6 months, and we had a FIFA match for an extra %. That's how crazy this was.
That's so wild.
So I was like, oh cool, it was 10%, and then we had like a FIFA match, and it was like, if I beat you 3-0 or 3 higher than what you get,
Okay.
I get an extra %. If you win, it's less 9%.
Yo.
I think I hit the guy like 6-7 something, 7
Yes, you clobbered him.
Clobbered him.
Yeah.
But he clobbered me at the end of the whole deal.
Oh, no.
So yeah, so it was 11% over 6 months, and then now the second month again, the guy's late. And this one I was like, I can see where this is going. Let's rather just cancel everything. Don't even pay me the interest for this one. Just give me my 100K.
Yeah, then we're
Like,
done.
And it was Spar's gonna pay me, and this person's gonna pay me, and blah blah blah.
Stories.
Then he paid for that month, and then there was never any payment again. There was lawyers involved. Then I think the lawyer fees came up to almost about what I lost. It was like 60K or something that lawyer costs came up to.
So you were in court with this gentleman?
Not in court, so like
Yeah,
you have
but
to get, like back and forth. So you
Yeah,
know,
back
charge
and
you
forth.
for every email. If the guy just like, where's the payment? Then it's $100 or $500, whatever they
Yeah.
charge you for an email. So it's every email you have to pay for. Every time there's a summons in court, you pay for that. Every time they do a trace, you have to pay for it. So like the lawyer bills are popping up, and I was like, okay, cool. Look, I lost 100K. The lawyer bills are coming to nearing
The
money
100K.
I'm trying to get back. So I was just like, let's just end it there. So I'm still paying for this loan now. So I just look at it like I have a car. I have a car that I just don't have.
Right.
So
bro.
basically, I've had some business ideas which obviously hasn't worked. But I think once I've sorted out my mess
That
now,
situation.
yeah, so that everything's on the back burner until this is sorted. So I do have things that I am working on,
Okay.
just not the time.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. You guys, watch out for the scammers, huh? Cause especially the one with the credentials.
Yo.
Those are the ones that
And
are
then they
gonna
give you
get
the book.
guys.
See, you mentioned me in the book and it's highlighted.
It's all gas. It's all gas.
Get a lawyer. Contracts.
Damn.
Contracts.
After how many years have you been in hospitality?
16, I think.
16 years.
Yeah.
After 16 years, are you still in love with hospitality? Do you still wake up with that passion inside you?
I wouldn't say I'm in love with hospitality.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more the people now.
Ah.
I think it's not really about the hospitality whole. We have this apartment or we have this hotel or whatever. It's more. That's what I actually miss most about being at the Saxon was the interactions we had.
Yeah, with the people, right?
It was
Yeah.
walking you to your apartment and having a conversation. You tell me about your kids, and then knowing when you come back, I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna speak to you about it. I'm gonna see you like,
Get that. Yo,
And
we're
then
the
that relationship,
kids.
Yeah, it's like how so and so. Like I miss that. I miss that aspect of hospitality. But I think it's more the connections than it is hospitality as an industry.
So it's making connections with people.
Yeah.
That's the most
Yeah,
valuable
yeah.
thing.
It's
for
the
you.
relationships. It's
Okay.
That's what I enjoy most about it.
If you weren't in hospitality,
I'd probably be in marketing.
do you think you'd be
I'd
in
probably
marketing
be in
right now?
marketing.
Is that a door that you could still open?
That's the nice thing about life and
True.
how everything is right now with
True.
YouTube. Like literally, you can wake up tomorrow and be whatever you
Yeah, and
Like,
pivot. Completely
want. Who
pivot.
is Khwadi?
I feel that.
Who am
I
I?
feel that.
Like if I identify myself as Marlon, hospitality operations manager, that's not my identity. That can change tomorrow. I can
True.
wake up tomorrow and decide I want to be a stripper.
True. That's
It's
true.
not like your job title isn't part of who you are.
That's
that
true.
can change. Tomorrow I could wake up and I could do digital marketing if I wanted to.
That's true.
So it's not something that is impossible.
Yeah.
It's something that is possible, but it's also just, again, timing. Like I can't
I
just
get that.
drop everything.
And just pivot.
Yeah, you have a bond and you have this car that you're paying for that you're not seeing because you were scammed. So it's
damn.
You can wake up any day and be
just
whatever
pivot.
the fuck you wanna be. Like it's
I love that.
Literally
That's
open. Like if you can
super
see
dope.
it and imagine it, you can do it.
I love that. And as we're wrapping up, right, what's your last piece of advice to people out there? People out there who are working corporate jobs, creative people, people out there who are trying to figure out what are the things that I need to tweak about myself to consistently progress just like you have in your chosen occupation. What's your last piece of advice to people out there?
Well, I think the most important thing, like we said before, is do you want it? Do you want to progress? Find out what it is you want to do. If you, for instance, if you in a small company and you want to start your own business, you in the perfect place.
Yeah, true.
You in a place where you're going to have the opportunity to learn from every department in the business. It's not like a big global company where you're just a number. You just employee.
Here.
You are Marlon and you make coffees.
That's
like,
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if you in a spot where your ambition is to run a business, being in a small startup,
best thing for
that's
you.
the best thing for you.
Yeah.
If you in a big corporation and you want to start something, you're in the best place to save because you're probably getting paid more than the startup is. So you can save and you can maybe build a month the fallback on. You can fall back on for 3 months while you go find a startup to learn from. Then you pivot into what you want to do. There's always avenues. You just need to find out what it is you want and what's the best route for you to do it.
Damn. Bro, thank you
Thanks,
so much for joining us. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with another episode of Dead Radio.
And you're live on Dead Radio.